world may be stuck in the house, forcing them to peruse through all of their streaming subscriptions, trying to find something worth their time. But everybody is not a binge watcher. A lot of us are content with grabbing some snacks, parking on the couch, and watching an entire season of our favorite show in one day. But other people are much more content with watching a 2-hour movie a few times a week, which is why I have compiled a list of Netflix movies that I think are worth your time. Like my last video, I am only talking about Netflix originals, and my goal was to be as inclusive as possible when it comes to the genre. I had to really tame my nerdy side so that I could make a list that everyone could find something to enjoy. With that being said, let's get started. Number 10 is Psychokinesis. Disclaimer, for all you people that refuse to watch a movie because it's foreign and has subtitles, I'ma need you to get over it, okay? Other countries who speak other languages make just as good of movies, if not better movies, than America does. So you need to put all that aside, stop being lazy, and watch it because they are well made. Psychokinesis is one of those films. It is a science fiction action movie about a deadbeat dad who finds himself gaining superpowers. He can move things with his mind. And it's so cool. The effects are great. And so pretty much he gets these powers and he uses them to get close to his estranged daughter while also helping her and this like market of people who are friends with her fight an evil construction company from tearing down the neighborhood and building and gentrifying it pretty much. Like I said, it's funny, it's well written, and it has a really, really cool cast. Watch this film, you will not be disappointed. Like I said, it does have subtitles, but get over it because it's worth the watch. Number 9 is Roxanne, Roxanne. This is a drama starring Mahershala Ali, Nia Long, and newcomer Shantae Adams. And it is about the rise and fall of 80s, 90s NYC female MC, Roxanne Shantae. I had no clue who this woman was. It is a biopic, but I had no clue who she was. So I was curious to see what it was about when I saw the trailer, but I thought that it was a really well-written, well-paced film. Obviously, it's about, her childhood, her upbringing, and her rise to fame, and, how she became a kind of a living icon, I guess you could say. But it's really, 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 really good. It was just cool to see her journey and how she deserves to be a name mentioned in New York hip-hop, period. Watch that film. It's called Roxanne, Roxanne on Netflix. Number 8 is Someone Great. Someone Great. Now, whenever Hollywood makes these movies about friendships, I always get annoyed nowadays because we have evolved as an economy, as a generation, and things are much different. So when these Hollywood writers continue to recycle all these old campy ways friends interact, it annoys me. So the reason why I mainly love this film is because it really captured how millennials are as friends today. It was really authentic, and I was watching it and enjoying it because I'm like, wow, this is actually how I talk and interact with my friends in this day and age. So that was one. But it also has a great cast: Gina Rodriguez, DeWanda Wise, Brittany Snow, Lakeith Stanfield, and it is a comedy drama or dramedy about a NYC journalist who, after a breakup, gets a job to LA. So she decides to have one last night of ratchetivity with her best friends before leaving across the country. It's hilarious. I think that we need more of these like buddy comedies with female leads because they're just as funny, You know, they're just as strong. Make more of them. But watch Someone Great. It was really, 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 really good. Number 6 is The Laundromat, starring the legend, the icon, Meryl Streep. Also, Antonio Banderas and Gary Oldman. Is it a drama? It's kind of a drama, kind of a comedy too. But Meryl Streep, she plays a widow who loses her husband on a vacation. And so when she tries to collect the insurance money, it's not there. And her being a meticulous, curious woman, she starts investigating, where is my insurance money? And it causes her to go down this rabbit hole, discovering that this insurance company is using these loopholes to fraud thousands of people out of millions and millions of dollars. It's based on a true story. So that was interesting to me. I was like, wow, this really happened? Yes, because the elite, the 1%, are trash. Other than that, it's a good film. Anything Meryl Streep is in is good. Let's just say that. Or no. That's not true. Any role Meryl Streep plays is always worth the watch. Her role, not always the movies. But that's beside the point. Number 6. I'm on number 6. Right? I think I'm on number 6. Okay, number 6 is Otherhood, starring the Queen Mother herself, Angela Bassett. For that name alone, you need to park your ass on the couch and watch this movie, because Angela Bassett is the queen, okay? Thank you. But it also stars Patricia Arquette and Felicity Huffman, minus her little legal troubles. But it's a Mother's Day film. But even though it's Mother's Day and it's over, it still deserves your time. You know? But it's about 3 mothers who, when Mother's Day come around, the celebration is kind of dismissed by their older sons who live in another city. So they decide to truck it to the big city and confront their sons about, why aren't you giving me the Mother's Day that I deserve? It's funny, it's dramatic, it's relatable, it's human, and I think it's really, really cool that you have a cast of seasoned women telling some very human, very relatable, very on-time and relevant stories about motherhood, about friendship, about closure. It's really good. I really enjoyed it, and I am upset that it didn't get as much love as it deserved. Because like I said, Angela Bassett. Period, poo. Number 5, All the Bright Places. I tried my best to avoid this movie because I was like, who cares? But I was sitting here like, I'll give it a try. And I am glad that I did, because this movie was good. It's a romantic comedy / drama. And it deals with mental health. It deals with adolescence and teen angst and teen love. It was so well written. It was so well casted. And I was like, oh my God, this movie is so good. I don't know what to expect, actually. I don't know what it was about. I just thought that it was like a romantic teen comedy, but it's much more than that. And it's definitely worth your time. Please watch this movie. For all my sentimental crybabies, this movie will do you justice. Number 4 is The Two Popes. I actually watched this movie before I made this video, because something told me, champ, just watch it. It's getting all this hype. You literally have it. Just watch it. And I am glad that I did, because Anthony Hopkins and Jonathan Pryce are amazing in this film. It's also based on a true story about the 2 popes. You know, one who accepted the call, and he wasn't as good of a pope as people thought he was going to be. And he stepped, in a lot of him stepping down, he was trying to convince the potential new pope to not retire, but take his place. I especially like this movie because it had really relevant conversation about modern day spirituality and traditionalism and doctrine and dogma, and how the church is disconnected from the people. It blew, I was like, wait, we're having a real discussion. I want to talk about this film with people, because I can't do it justice with just this video, because I'm only giving myself like a minute or two. But this movie was so good, and Anthony Hopkins is so petty. Now, also disclaimer, every movie you watch doesn't have to be fast-paced and action-packed and have special effects and all this kind of stuff. Some movies are really tame, are really subtle, they're really character-driven, they're really well-written, and then it's about the subtleties and the underlying themes, you know. So if that isn't your steez, it's perfectly fine. But for people like me who need a break from sometimes the big budget action, you know, chaos, this is a really good movie that I think is worth your time, especially for all my believers out there. I know the Catholic Church as a whole has been very controversial in the last in the last few decades. But I think that the conversation that this movie plants the seeds for, and also the themes that it has, are very powerful, are very relevant, and I think that it deserves your time. Like I said, I was extremely blown away at how good this movie is. Especially the theme about counting yourself out when in contrast, you might be the best person for the job. It's like we really can count ourselves out of things because of our past, because of our insecurities, because of our fears and doubts. But it's like, no, you might have, that just makes you human. But your humanity does not exempt you from doing great things and impacting lives. Baby, I'm about to preach in this. I'm about to preach. Because this movie is really, really good. I definitely think that you guys should watch this movie. Number 3 is 20 Feet from Stardom. It's a documentary that is a few years old, but I still think that there's a lot of people who have not watched this movie, or you probably have been scrolling through Netflix and just scroll past it, not knowing what it was. But this movie is really good. It's a documentary about the lives of background singers, you know, the amazing vocalists who stand behind these amazing, iconic artists. Me as a background singer, I understand, you know, the journey of wanting to be a star, wanting to fulfill your dreams, but sometimes the best you can get is to be behind the star. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's real. And that's real for a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you see yourself on this pedestal, but you just might be the person at the bottom of the pedestal helping the person on the pedestal up on the pedestal. I mean, that just might be your life. You know, so I thought that it was a really, really relevant and cool insight on how these amazing women, Darlene Love, Lisa Fisher, Mary Clayton, who have had powerful, astounding careers as singers, but never really in the spotlight. It's a really good documentary. It also won the Oscar for Best Documentary in 2014. For that alone, you should watch this film. Number 2 is Train to Busan. Another foreign film with subtitles, but coincidentally, it was also directed by the same guy who directed Psychokinesis. So you know, it's good. Train to Busan is a horror thriller about zombies taking over the world. And so this, another deadbeat dad, who is taking his daughter from Seoul to Busan, from Seoul to Busan to her mother, and the zombie viral outbreak, it gets to their train, and they're stuck on this train trying to stay alive. It has a great cast of people. To me, it is probably the best zombie film I have ever seen. Honestly. Truly. It deserves your time. Watch Train to Busan. Now, number 1 is What Happened to Monday. Yes, yes, yes. An older film as well, but still worth the watch. It is a science fiction action film set in a future where there's overpopulation in the world and every family can only have one child. But this woman gives birth to sextuplets and names them all after every day of the week. And the movie kickstarts when one of the daughters, named Monday, goes missing. What happened to Monday? It's a great film. The first 20 to 30 minutes are a little bit slow because it's establishing this whole world, convincing you that it's real, convincing you to pull you in. But when the action starts, the action starts. And Noomi Rapace, she plays all 7 characters so well, capturing 7 personalities, capturing 7 different emotions in this film, and she nailed it. That concludes my list of the top 10 Netflix movies that I believe are worth your time. Give these movies a watch, and if you have any suggestions that I did not name, write them in the comments below. Let's share and let's all enjoy as coronavirus destroys our lives. Until next time, I'm Champ.